Tabletop RPG rulebooks and systems can seem big and intimidating. On Too Long Didn't Play, we break down the seemingly complex content of tabletop RPGs in about 5 minutes, so you can decide if you want to check a system out in more detail. You dock too quickly with the Carthage, as the captain often does, preferring the reliability of his own eyes over the precision of the sensors. You're able to quickly jack your arm into the wall panel and silently hack the lock and turn off the SOS that the ship was blasting. After all, you don't want anybody else showing up too quickly. Your friend Grish, the Nephilim medic's tentacles undulate nervously at your side. You can't imagine what must be going through their mind. After all, the bioagents on this ship won't hurt you, but them, it's better not to think about it. As you slide into the cargo bay, everything seems quiet until you see the pile of bodies in the corner. They're riddled with age and antimatter rounds. The realization hits you as you hear the high-pitched whine of an auto turret starting to wind up. Welcome to the ghost ship Carthage, and welcome to Fragged Empire. Creating a character in Fragged Empire follows an easy 6-step process. Start by creating your character concept. This can be pretty broad. You just want a lens that you can view your character through. Are they a hacker, a rogue, negotiator, captain, gunslinger, engineer, ship's medic, or something else? Having this lens in mind will help guide the rest of the process, so it's really the best place to start. Next, you want to pick from over a half-dozen beautifully creative races, from the adept Kaltorans with their genetic memories, the diverse Nephilim that were originally created as genetically engineered monstrosities, or the Twifar, a paired species that's 1/2 energy creature and 1/2 organic. Each of these are going to come up with a set of culturally common bonuses and abilities and suggest a few disadvantages for your character. After you've noted all of those, you're going to then pick your attributes. An average individual, no matter what species, starts with 2 points in each of the 6 abilities, and you get a total of 18 across the character. So you really have open freedom to build your character's physical and mental traits exactly how you want. But you want to be careful. In Fragged Empire, when taking damage, you take damage to your attributes, and you die if any of them hits a -5. After all that, you pick your skills. You start with 6 primary skills, 2 combat skills, and 2 vehicle skills at the very beginning. As you're assigning these, again, think about your character concept, what you see them doing a lot of. It's also a good time to take note of the cultural skills your species tends to be adept at, and note any bonuses you're going to get from these. After that, you want to set your traits. You get 1 trait per level, and there are a ton of amazing options. Again, this is a good time to ground yourself in your character's concepts and think about what you want them to be really good at. Spend your resources on weapons, items, and special gear, and then your character's ready to explore. This process seems and is very simple, but like a lot of medium crunch games, the biggest challenge in Fragged Empire is that you get to choose from a lot of amazing options, especially for traits and gear, and you want to think really intentionally about what you're going to spend your resources on. So how do you start playing Fragged Empire? Fragged makes use of one of my favorite roles: rolling 3d6. There's something that's just super elegant about the bell curve of this dice setup that I have always loved. It's more stable than a d20 roll, but it still provides plenty of swing. However, what makes Fragged Empire's 3d6 roll especially satisfying is what happens when you roll 6s, but let's come back to that in a second. Fragged Empire has this really great pacing mechanic that guides you through the process when you roll. The GM presents the situation, you name your intent and identify your character's approach to the issue, then you look for any bonuses from skills or equipment, and if you described your attempt especially well, you might get another +1 from the GM. Add all these to your 3d6 roll and try to get over the target number that your GM has in mind. You might succeed or fail just like in any other system, but remember I said there was something special about d6s earlier, and when you roll a 6 on a dice, you can use an effect called a strong hit. This lets you critically hit, critically boost, or use effort to re-roll a dice and potentially succeed where you would have failed. You can also unlock other strong hit effects by purchasing certain traits. Here's the deal. there's a roughly 42% chance to roll a 6 anytime you roll 3d6. This means that it's a pretty common thing to roll one, and that as you roll more dice, if you use effort, you could potentially roll more and more. This creates a tremendously satisfying tactile crunch when you decide how you're implementing strong hits that I really loved in our actual play with Wade, the designer of Fragged Empire. Fragged is a stunning and very rich post-apocalyptic sci-fi setting. It almost loops back around some ways again to feeling a little bit like a fantasy space opera. It's a universe full of truly unique races that still manages to have a lot of familiar edges to grab onto. All the races have dark past, secrets, and things that also make them noble. And above all, you have true agency based on how you want to build them. So if you want to blast off into a sea of stars or negotiate a hostage situation across the comwaves, if you want to scour planets for civilizations from a previous age or salvage ships for fun and profit, if you want to test your mettle against angry aliens and technology turned terrible, then you, my friend, are ready for Fragged Empire. Thanks for watching. I'm Tony Vasinda, Chief Alchemist over at Plus One Exp, where we multi-class in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. If you have thoughts about Fragged Empire, or if there's a system you want to know more about but don't have time to learn, drop us a line down in the comments or at Plus One Exp on any social media platform. And if you want more content like this, go ahead and tap that bell and we'll let you know the next time we're in the system. Here at Plus One Exp, we want to create professional quality content for designers of all sizes. If you want to help us create content for small or even first-time game designers, consider supporting our team over on Ko-fi.